Alrighty, folks. Welcome back to Scotty Streams. We're going to get started shortly. And today we're actually going to do a little new thing. It's going to be studying and signing up for next semester classes. Again, for at least where I go to school in Chicago, our sign up for the next semester's classes is going to be on November 8th, and that is coming up in only 6 days. So I know I have to prepare for it. I'm gonna show you how I do it, and hopefully that helps people. So far, I'm on track to finish college 2 semesters early. So hopefully, with my organization techniques as well as like with what I do, I'll be able to help you also better prepare yourself in order to sign up as well as the ins and outs of what I do. So we got a few minutes, but thanks for joining, everyone. And we'll get started shortly. Again, this is Scotty Streams. Feel free to say hello in the chat or drop a follow if you want. And what I do on this channel is I normally do study streams, and I'm starting to do some gaming when I have free time. But if you go to Illinois Tech, you obviously understand there's not a lot of free time for that kind of stuff. Or as much as we'd like. So I'll probably do more gaming content as the summer arrives. But welcome to the stream, folks. Welcome. This will be recorded as well, so make sure we keep it clean in the chat. And I'll be sending this out to other friends that are first years, or they just want to know like how I organize and set up my classes for upcoming semesters. So yeah, we'll get started shortly. I was thinking about playing some music, but I really don't want this video to get, I guess, demonetized, or, it has to get muted on YouTube when it's a pretty vital tool, I think, for a lot of people. So we'll do that for sure. But I'm excited. We're going to get started shortly. And yeah, I just can't wait. But yeah. Hope your day's going well. I know mine's going pretty good. So lots of work and lots of homework. So not the best in my opinion, but you take what you can get these days. That's a guarantee, that's for sure. But yeah, we're 30 seconds out. I know a lot of people said they wanted the YouTube video, because also this would probably help for international students, and that's what my friends have said. Those that are international, in terms of getting accustomed with new systems and things like that. Alrighty, and again, welcome to the channel. We shall get started momentarily. And let's get to work. First, I gotta chill with my brightness right now, because I had it on when I was studying late into the hours last night. But here we are. First off, okay, welcome to, this is your student portal. This is normally when I like to start, and something that's really vital in terms of signing up for your classes and seeing what you need. So we'll start with here, and we're going to do my undergraduate dashboard. Perfect. Bachelor's of Science. Alrighty. Okay, so here we are. Yeah, it's going to show my name in the top right corner. That's fine. But here's what we're going to be looking at today. So far, it's just going to be, whether you go to IIT, other schools, I'm sure you might be familiar with your student portal. If you're not, definitely talk to your degree works or other organizations and clubs on campus that can help you walk through it, because it's really vital to understand what you have in terms of credits and what you need to go from there. So luckily our school provides us with a degree program. So this is my Bachelor's of Science, but you can also go to Master's depending on your major, and it'll also tell you what else you need and what you have done in the past. So as we scroll down, right now it just says like different requirements you need. So these are my credits required for my degree, and these are my credits that are applied. So it means I've either finished them or I'm in the process of finishing them right now. So as you can tell, I only need 11 more credits in order to finish my bachelor's degree. And that kind of helps you when you're picking the classes, because sometimes you might have all your classes done, but you might still need one more credit. So that means you're going to need another class, or talk to IIT and try to petition to get that one credit requirement dropped. And as we scroll down, so here's a requirement. The key will also tell you what it's looking like, but right now it shows that it's, if we hover over it, the green check is complete, and the blue is in the progress, and then blank is obviously not complete. So what it looks like right now is I need one more econ class. So we're going to note that for later. My iPro selection, I've already finished. Most people don't do this until their 4th year. I did it during my 2nd year and the summer going into my 3rd year, which is now, just because I felt like it'd be nice to do and it'd be a nice break, and I kind of wanted to leave my core curriculums and core math electives for my major to the end of the year. And then here's my minors in computer science, and looks like it's almost done. So I'm in the process, so long as I get a good grade in it, and it looks good to go. You also need to check when you're going through what is going to be required for a grade in terms of getting those credits. So some classes it's a C, sometimes you need a B, sometimes you need an A. It definitely depends, especially for prerequisites and higher up classes. And just to mention, so this is just an overview of the academic platform, I'd say, for IIT. That's what we're going to do now, and then we'll say next. Next, I'll just type in the chat what we'll do after, and that will be planning on an Excel spreadsheet. So right here we have just my different, it'll say depending on your major and your bachelor's, sometimes even master's if we're in the other viewing portal, it's going to say exactly what you need for your bachelor's. And so far it shows it's incomplete, but I'm almost done with it, and just from the top to the bottom is going to be everything that you need. So right now it says 9 credits, so that's 3 classes in any of these. So that means I really have to pick any of these, but I got to avoid these 2. So again, it's really self-explanatory if you just scroll through this. And if you have any questions, highly recommend reaching out to your academic advisor when it comes to these things. And then fall through courses, sometimes that just means like they're not really going to apply, but you have them. And sometimes if you talk to DegreeWorks or you reach out to them, sometimes you can get them to be added on to your, I guess, your transcript, as long as you petition and then you show them exactly what's going on. But yes, we're now going to transition on to, after explaining the overview of the platform that you really should use in terms of your classes and what you have done and what you're going to do, we're going to transition into just planning and gathering your classes and your data. So planning out classes, and my favorite way is on Excel. So already, and then these are just notes that you're gonna go through, and then the legends at the bottom, it tells you everything you need to know. But sometimes it is subject to change, so just letting you know for that. We need semester by semester. So this is what I call my master key in terms of classes. So on top of them keeping track, I also like to keep track of what classes I've taken and which ones I need to take. Sometimes it's great because even though it's a pain in the butt to start off initially with, sometimes data can get lost and classes can get confused. So I just like to do it just for my sanity and just in case anything happens, and then also helps me just really visualize what's going on in terms of my classes. And I noticed I'm going to move this way so that way we get a full top view right here, and this down a bit because this isn't as prevalent. But we're going to keep this here, and we know which classes I need. Alrighty, so as you can see, I break it down by semester and year on this side. You know what? I'm going to zoom in just so it's easier on you guys as well. Alrighty, so semester and year, and I have all my classes. So this is even like basically all my transfer and AP credit, things like that, and what goes on there. And then the grade and labeling is like, the labeling is what categories it applies to, as well as a grade will tell me what it does. So any AP, any college credit that you receive outside of it, you just do that. And hello, welcome, welcome everyone for viewing. And then in terms of the difficulty, I also just give their rating. So these are all my AP. I think it's easy, depending on those. And then based off of when I schedule my new classes, I'll also give them a grade rating to see, okay, do I really want to take 4 hard classes in one semester. So that's just how I break it down, and I kind of enjoy it. And here's where it starts to get messy. So I have all my classes, and now here comes spring 2022. So you're gonna plan it all out, and I started color code as well. But this is where it gets messy because I start to overlap my bachelor's with my master's in computer science. And for here, what we have is different math courses for the next 2 semesters. Sometimes it's great to focus on one, but I like to focus on 2, so that way I know which ones I have to get done. So let's start with my social science that I can get. Originally, they did change it. Sometimes changes happen. It is subject to change. I was going to have the freedom to take a Business 100 class, which you can see 20. It says that I need one in econ now, or psychology, or a social science. So instead, I'm going to look for a course and put it potentially in this semester or semester, because it is a social science class. Potentially, if I could take it online, that might be great. So we'll do that. A resource that I like to use for planning, even though this is also subject to change. There is many available and when. But a great website that a student helped develop is called POP. If you're new to IIT, maybe you haven't heard it before, but pop.weclarify.com just potential classes that are available. And you can see also, depending on how many other people sign up for, it's going to look like, if there's going to be availability, if you really have to make sure that this is the #1 class that you sign up for, because it starts on November 8th, but it is split up between different I guess between grades who get specialization, or they get to be first. So we'll do summer 22, and we'll look for a psychology or an econ one. And then, so this is just IIT resources. And then when we're comparing, I'll show you one for strictly math classes, but for now we won't do math classes. Let's just say we want an econ class. So let's search for econ, or the abbreviation is going to be. Now, if we go back to our dashboard, we can see that it needs to be in anything from 151 to 499 with an attribute of that. So it can be either one of these. Now let's see. Let's say maybe I want a tougher one. It can be like a 300 level one. And I feel like I haven't taken this one so far. So it looks like it would be here. It says 20 seats available, standard tuition rate. That's always great. And then it tells you a brief bio. Sometimes I'll look at the bios, sometimes I won't. It kind of just depends if it's elective. You know, sometimes I don't mind a surprise. But it says successful managers are able to align business strategies with the organization's culture and core. Look at that. Okay, so basically a lot of econ stuff that I'm not really too much into, but you know, that's what electives are for. You get to learn something new. And then it has this handy little dandy calendar where if I expand it, it'll look prettier, about what days it'll be during the summer and the times. So we click on this. Yep, and it pulls it over here. So it'd be 7 to here. So that's great. So now if I'm planning for the summer, I'll know, okay, perfect. I can fit it in. It's an available one, and I can take it. And it's business. Well, it's business. It's not economy, actually. But that's unfortunate. However, I could always check to see if that would work. But let's see if I want to do a psychology one. So that's Soc. But over the summer, it doesn't look like there is much. But I guess we'll do this one. We'll do this econ one to make sure that's an econ one, even though business you're never too sure. But econ 211. Yeah, that's fine time, late in the evening. So if you get a summer job, now you know. But let's say I want to take a math course in the summer. So we're going to insert one below. Let's say I want to take a math one. And if we look at the dashboard, we can see, we scroll down, getting to here, there is 9 credits, math 300 to 499. And these are all the ones that I've taken in the past. However, we need to scroll over to another website link that allows us to, I guess, look for future courses. These are all available on the IIT website. You just got to do some hunting and some searching, and you'll be able to find it. As for now, let's go to future CS courses, and then there should be a future math one. So that's that one, and this should be math. Future schedule applied math. Perfect. Okay, so if you're applied math, hopefully this will help. Or maybe your CS and in that event, then this one will help. And advisors look over this, and it is subject to change, however, because sometimes IIT doesn't have the staffing maybe for that semester, or they want to just change it and mix it around. So instead, it will be something different. So instead of CS, let's say I'll look at math right now, but we are looking specifically for the summer of 2022, which is going to be coming up. Let's say I want to just take a math course. So here's summer 2022. It really helps you with the columns. And again, if you're CS and math majors out there, you can pull some data from here and be able to make your own tables. So pretty cool if you want to do that. But I'm not going that far. I'm just going to take it easy. And it said that we needed 300, if we remember, 300 to 499. So we're, again, starting from this column right here, the 2022 of... Oh wait, no, that's spring. That's spring. That's fine. We can still do spring because that's what we need anyways. So let's go to spring. Sadly, they don't have it. I think Pop We Clarify does, but that's fine. So there's graduate and here's undergrad. But in the spring, if I wanted to take a 301, I've taken this one, I've taken this one. Let's say, sure, 374. Let's say I want to take 374. It's available. That's perfect. And X means it's there, and someone might be teaching it. So that's pretty cool. But now let's check and cross transfer and look at the Pop We Clarify. So I'm going to open up another Pop and just go directly to the spring. And we want Math 374. Awesome. Looks great. You want this one. Arthur Lupin. Alrighty. And we will go here. It looks like, based on the availability, that it's only at this time, and Professor Lubin will be the only one teaching this class. So, when it comes to this situation, you kind of only have one pick. However, you'll want to then go to websites like Rate My Professor, and then you could see through other students' history taking the class, as well as just their overall experience, how they rank this professor and how they feel about the class in terms of the struggles they had and the experience overall. And that normally is pretty good. It helps you weed out some classes, or it's like, wow, this person is really highly rated, and then you talk to your friends in person about it, and they're like, wow, yeah, we definitely enjoyed the class, or we like the professor. So that's another great way to see which ones you want to take. Now, pardon me as I make sure the lights are in there. Alrighty. So we have this class, but now let's check that we'd be able to count it. But if we look, it looks like it will work. If we check the different classes, that would work. Look at that. Probability and statistics for ECE. So I guess it can potentially work, even though I already took probability here. But again, that would be a great question if we aren't sure to ask our professor before the day of signing up. And by professor, it can either be a professor that they said they'd be able to help you and advise with, but normally your academic advisor would be the best person to ask. So that is how we would then go back to the sheet and then mark it in as a potential class that we could put in for the spring of 2022. However, I already came up with a potential list of classes that I think I would enjoy. So then instead, I'll just go here, we'll remove Lubin's, and then we'll put these classes, and I'll show you how they would look. So we have math 454, which is graph theory. Again, only one professor is teaching it, so we would just put that. And we have math 425. And again, this is only one professor, so we will do that. And again, so anything 400 below is undergrad, but a 500 course and above is going to be grad. Again, if you'd like to take it, I'd say go for it, because some of these classes you can get both undergrad and grad credit for it. However, I don't need grad credit for mathematics mainly. I just need it for computer science. So it's a separate issue we'll look into. And we have CS 487. Alrighty, so there's multiple selections as well as the same professor for all these classes. I'm just going to choose a lecture. There is an internet option. However, I've noticed at IIT and probably other universities, they're tending to phase out the internet options in terms of you going back in class, since it is safer. So instead, we won't be doing that. And as you can see right here too, where I might have to talk to my professors about overlapping is, as of now, these two classes overlap, both my math ones that I need to take. So either I look for another option, like the statistical methods class, and swap it out for the probability one that we mentioned earlier with Professor Lubin. But it's great to just see that even though you have a potential plan, you still got to be flexible, and you can compare it with the potential schedule that could be subject to change, especially if other students have this issue, which I know the math department being small, they might try to move it around. But again, we'll see. It's early in the game. CS 430. Alrighty, we have 5 selections. Perfect. Now we have different professors, and I can now start the segment of professor feedback / reviews. So let's say I'm picking this. I don't have to pick all the classes. I'm going to try to make the recording pretty short, and then I can do the Q&A session on Twitch still. But we have these different professors. We had different times. Sometimes you might just pick the time because it works better for you, but other times, if these work fine, then obviously I want to choose someone that is the best professor based on these ratings. So we're going to click both of them and see what we're working with. Right now, it looks like this CS 430 with Math Professor Bauer is going to be the best. And this one is at the same time. So, and honestly, maybe not Professor Bauer. I think maybe the other professor, Chiblus. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Instead, I might go with them just because I like sleeping in. So, and that's important about, you know, school and college. You got to be well rested. I never am, but I try to. But here we go to rate my professor. And perfect. I have the other professor, Edward, research from last time. And again, I'll try to. I won't read all of them, especially if they're a little extreme. But you could definitely comb through it. Your own risk to hear about it. But it looks like they have a rather low rating. Where only 23 would take again, 23%, and the level difficulty out of 5 is a 3.8. So it looks pretty difficult. But again, each student, thinks different classes are difficult, and to each their own, So definitely take it with a grain of salt. Again, it's up to you, and anything you set your mind to, you'll be able to accomplish. So this is just some nice feedback and suggestions. But yeah, so the grade was an F in the class, and they said that the professor will take points off homework. The exams are kind of abstract and hard, and you'll definitely take a hit to your GPA after taking this class with the professor. The other one gave them a C minus. They didn't really agree with the teachers. I'm paraphrasing, but they didn't agree with the teachers' methods of teaching, or the professor's methods of teaching, I should say. And just some overall hard reviews, and it says for the classes, so CS 430 and then 542. However, I don't think I'm taking that yet. However, someone did get an A, and they said everything you need is off the homeworks, and the exams is taught in class very methodically, and they're pretty comfortable with it. And he's a less tech-savvy CS professor, so I guess that's kind of good if you kind of get stuck and you're stuck and you kind of can't comprehend the CS concepts as well when they're using a lot of tech lingo and stuff like that. So I guess that's good. Again, to each their own. Like, everyone has different experiences, but overall pretty low ratings. However, there was one from 2019, so during the end of COVID, I think. No, that was spring of 2020. So this was the year before COVID, and they got an A in the class, gave them the highest rating, and said that they're slow enough for you to understand everything, and 80% couldn't get an A, and they enjoy algorithms. And this was CS 430, which is what I'll have to take. However, this was before COVID, so you also got to take that into account. Maybe things changed, things got harder for students. So, again, it's just a lot of feedback for factors for you to consider. However, I know personally he's my master's advisor, as well as I've been and shadowed some classes for them before. But Professor Matthew Bauer, they were a great professor, and I've heard just so many good things. So let's see how they rate my professor. Bauer. There we go. Matthew Bauer, 3.8. So a bit better. And almost 60% would take again. Level of difficulty was 2.7. But again, he does teach a lot of classes, so we'll have to see what the reviews are. And definitely apologize. There's some noisy other students outside of the dorm right now, but that's dorm life at IIT. We love it here. We love it here. So CS 331. Let's look for 430. Perfect. That's what we need. And then it says that they did say good academic advisor. He always replies to students ASAP. And that's true. I've asked many questions and sent them emails, and it's been really rapid response. So love to hear that and see that. I don't know if he teaches this class, but the class is all right. However, the final exam was super hard. So that's good to know. Like, if I have fun in the class, but it's going to be hard, you just got to pick what you want. Let's see. Not a lot of other 430. Oh, yeah, if you're tech savvy, you can just Control F and then do 430. It looks like only 3 reviews, so average. Final exam is so difficult. I think you should be aware of the algorithms, data structures, and have a good problem-solving skills in the class. Interesting. And then another one was still pretty high, but again, they aren't really listing their grades, so they curve slightly. So I guess difficult exams, while the other professor didn't really have anything else. So between the two, I think I might take it with not Professor Bauer, just because it's so early in the morning, and based on level of difficulty, trying to focus that early in the morning, maybe not. But again, it also depends on other classes that I'd have to sign up for as of right now. But that is how you use Rate My Professor, and you take it with a grain of salt. And some people don't post the best advice or the, I guess, the most clean advice there, but again, it's just the feedback, and it's good to know what's out there in terms of options. And let's do CS 525. Alrighty, same professor, and there is an internet option. I'm in one of their classes right now, and I think he's a great professor. He really, and the important thing too, especially at a tech school, is bringing the energy so that your students can better understand you, so that they can stay awake. Because I don't know about other students, and I'm sure those that are watching on the stream, but classes can drag on, and we get tired and we get stressed. But having a professor that is lighthearted and that can be lively, that helps you learn and be alert more, at least for me. So that's something that I also try looking for professors, especially if I know them. They could be a great professor, but if you're falling asleep in class or you can't retain information, then you should try to mix it up if you can, to make sure that it ends up working out. Alrighty, so we got a few classes already that we'll have to come through, and 430. Yeah, it looks like it's just those for now. However, I did look at other options when it came to these classes in terms of what other math I could take. Well, let's do that other math one. Math 474. Probability and statistics with a little bit. Yeah, let's try that. I mean, why not? It doesn't hurt, and as you can see on this Excel spreadsheet, I have multiple different options to try to take, but there's a lot of things to consider. But here we are. Here is a rough draft of what it could potentially look like. I always like to have backups too, so that's what these classes are kind of look like in my other sheet as of right now. So I have a list with like 8 classes, so that way In the event that classes get full, which it happens a lot, I can just pick any combination of these four as long as they don't overlap and hope for the best. So you can have a multi-tier strategy going in, because I've had that before. I've never gotten into a class. You can always appeal and try to see if they expand the class to let you in, but I normally end up asking if they're going to expand the class. I'll email the professor personally, see what they have to say, but most of the times you just got to find a replacement class, and that's especially with humanities. Humanities I found book up a lot more than other classes. However, these math courses, as you get higher up, they do specialize, and there is like all the years of math majors as well as some computer science and ITM that are competing for it. So just like economics, scarcity drives this environment, and you're just gonna have to sign up early and hope for the best. But the good news is, as you get older in terms of academic credits and your status changes to second year, third year, fourth year, you get more priority as you sign up. But here we are. Here's a potential schedule for next year. And doesn't look too bad. So these are my two conflicts, 425 and 545. I have never had Professor Popovic. I've heard a lot of good things. They're very active on campus in terms of clubs and leading in research, so that might be good. I've had Professor Pell's major as my academic advisor before. It's now a new academic advisor due to just changing things out. And I have them in a class, and it's pretty okay. I'd say they are lighthearted. They bring the energy. However, it is more of loose structure in terms of notes and everything. They also don't share their notes. It's you show up or you get them from your friends if you can't show up to class because you're sick. So that is something that is definitely hard for me. But in moments like these, this is when I would turn back to the rate my professor for Professor Popovic. So we'll look up them shortly, but now this section is just the multiple plans and review. So yeah, this section, if you're looking down below, it's the multiple plans and reviewing stage, I guess, of how I go through my classes right now. So we are going to look them up in terms of reviews for this class, because I know they are very active on campus, so hopefully that's good. Okay, 45% would take again. Level difficulty is pretty high, so 3.4, and we got to consider that when we're going into here. And which one are we looking at? We are looking at 425, so we want to control F, 4 and 25. Oh, no reviews yet, but maybe we could piece something together. So these are low-level ones. That's great. That one, not much of a review to go off of, but a lot of 100 level ones, which, yeah, it's not ideal. But we'll see. She's great, and people who hate her are just lazy. Okay, good to know. So she basically grants extensions, emails quickly, so great communication even on weekends, and then they only have one class per week, and the rest of the time they just watch recordings. She's patient and kind. Nice. That's good. Again, that's it. That is 100 level, so I'm sure it definitely changes with each person. But I guess that's something I'm gonna have to piece together, ask my friends about, and socialize. Yeah, at a tech school we don't socialize much, but now this gives you an excuse to go talk to other people and talk to your friends about which professors do they like, how difficult was the courses, and what other courses do they recommend taking. But yeah, it looks like it's only one professor showing up. And again, this is just ratemyprofessor.com, another great resource depending on the reviews and who's all on there. Alrighty, so there's tentative schedule, future schedule. Those are basically all the resources you need to know. So from here, let's say I stick with statistical methods. I'm going to remove graph theory and applications. Just thinking about it, just thinking out loud. We don't got to commit to it. It's not set in stone. I will go from there. Oh, and we have software engineering. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to match it up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And over here we will have, well, after I remove Professor Bauer, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 classes. And with that being said, that's going to be 15 credits though. So it's normally 3 credits per class, unless you have a lab that's going to be 4. And again, that's something that you have to research. I don't think it says it on Pop We Clarify, but when you Google it on like the course syllabus or on these future courses, sometimes they'll say. So again, it's just about more research in what you're doing. But 15 credits, that's definitely a fair amount, and then I could free up some time if I take some in the summer, which I highly recommend, even though I know it's important to get internships. So definitely see if you can do a online class and an internship. That's 2 birds in 1 stone. So that's pretty awesome. There's also a joke that I heard that when the asteroid took out the dinosaur, it had the highest ratio of birds to 1 stone ever. So if you think about it, it's kind of funny. Yeah. Anyways, moving on from that pun, but here we are. So this seems like a decent schedule. Looks like Mondays and Wednesdays are the most hectic with 3 classes. I've done it before. I think I've had one semester where I had 4 on like Monday. It was 4 or 5. It was rough, but definitely, I think setting yourself a goal of 3 per day is where you should be at for your max. As 15 credits. I've done 18 credit semesters. As I'm getting into higher level courses, I definitely say avoid that. It's harder. I'm kind of struggling with that right now. I'm doing 18 credits of all 400 level, so it's definitely tough. But again, if you know yourself, you know your limits, but if you push yourself a bit and you believe you can do it, you can still come through. So yeah. And right now, the only ones that I want to keep my eye on for sure and get at least a C for sure in these classes, or that I have to, or else I'm going to retake it, is both CS 430 and CS 487, because these are precursors and prerequisites for other master's classes that I'll have to take down the line. But overall, this is my plan for 1 semester. And it's pretty quick. I mean, I just did it in like 35 minutes, but that's because I had to explain everything. But if you probably did it at home, it'd probably take you 20 minutes. So yeah, that's kind of what I think about it. And in terms of other information, I guess when you actually sign up. So actually signing up, we'll do that real quick, and then we'll go to like questions and overview. But yeah, we should actually sign up. That's a great point. Alrighty. Let's see, we want to go to normally it should be, let's go to welcome. I think it's the banner still. But basically, yeah. So it'll be the registration dashboard. You'll want to go here. Alrighty. From here, you'll then want to go to register for classes. And then from here, you're going to pick your term. And it's going to be spring 2022. And this is where you're going to get your PIN. So I have not yet gotten my PIN from my professor. Either they will email you and say, please reply to this email. I will give you your PIN. Or you will have to just email them directly, which is what I'm going to do shortly after this video, and say, hey, could I please get my PIN? And also here's my potential schedule, because might as well, again, 2 birds, 1 stone. Might as well, when you're asking for your PIN, send your academic advisor your potential schedule that you're thinking about, and they'll be like, oh yeah, this looks great, or they'll be honest. They'll be like, okay, these are 3 rough classes. I don't recommend taking all 3 at once. Please space it out. Like if you wanted to do differential equations, Calc 3, and Physics 2, that's quite a tough combo, so they may tell you to pump the brakes. But that's how you're going to get access to your PIN. And then once you have your PIN, you'll then be able to go to your classes. So let's see if I remember my fall PIN. I don't think I remember my fall PIN, actually. So that's unfortunate. But either way, we can just go ahead and view. You can browse through your classes. It's another great terminal to use. So view only, and let's see, yeah, we'll do that. So here's another way where you can view your classes. So let's say we wanted to look at that econ one again. So econ, any course number, boom. So this matches still with the summer section that we had on Pop We Clarify, which is right here. Econ 211, except they have specific times, which is even better because this is directly from the source, while Pop We Clarify pulls early to be able to show students. So that's, I guess I want to say, an important thing to note when you're going through. Again, it's always subject to change, some more than others. So it's very important that your plans are flexible, and that you have backups. And then I know some people popping in and out of the videos. Just want to say hello, thank you for joining the stream, and I will be posting this to YouTube after, so don't worry about that. Register information, register for classes. So that's how you're going to get to it. You're going to go from your registration and your dashboard onto here. And then from here, you're going to register for classes. You can also plan ahead, and it's basically the same thing I do with my Excel spreadsheets and Pop We Clarify, but even better. So let's say I want to do the spring again, continue, and you can create a plan. So now with this plan, so final plan and signing up. So on top of actually signing up, you can just beforehand, and you can pick a different class. So we'll just start with math. Let's do a math one. What do we want? 474? Was that it? Already, yeah, cool. So we're gonna add this course. Let's say we add this course, no problem. We're gonna save this plan. Plan name, test 1. Sure, we'll just call it that. So from now, we can then go back to our plans, see that it's saved. So now we have test 1, and it says this. So when it comes time to actually registering, we could say register our plan, and then we'll just click through, and it allows us to get each one. Hopefully, if it's not filled out, if it's not filled up, or the time, there's a different time conflict and stuff like that, then it'll then say that there's an error, but it'll sign you up for the ones that are available. So that's also a really great method that I like. However, once it's in there and either time passes or it finishes, sometimes it won't always save. So especially after you register after the semester. So if you want to keep a full tab on it, that's why I recommend the Excel spreadsheet on top of the other two. But I believe that's it. So congrats, you hopefully were able to get some resources now to be able to plan for the rest of your college career. Or if you're finishing up like me, we're almost there. So that marks the end. Congrats. Now we're just going to start with long-term overview and then Q&A. So we'll just do some Q&A if it's there, but there's no pressure. You don't have to as well. But again, if you have any questions, you could always email me at djrascotty1@yahoo.com. There you go. And we'll just go through a general overview and Q&A. If you have any questions, just like say in the chat you got a question, or put it in the chat. If not, again, email me there. Or when this is on YouTube, you can always put it in the comment section. I'll check it like every 3 days, and I'll get back to you. Or if you're on campus, you can meet me there. You can meet me somewhere on campus. But here we are with a general overview. So when it comes to this stuff, this is where it gets a bit harder, because you have to look at the tentative schedule, which we have over here. And then you have to then also look at what classes you are taking to be able to plan multiple semesters. Because let's say I decide to take graph theory this semester, but really it's offered this semester and this semester, but a math class isn't. So instead of, so I decided that I didn't want to take graph theory this semester, but maybe it's only offered this semester, but statistical methods is offered both semesters. Well, maybe I should take this one instead. And that's where like a lot of the combinations really matter, and they line up when you look at it. So let's see, graph theory, and I think this is the case as well. Yeah, graph theory is only offered in the spring of 2022, and the only other time it's offered is like 3-4 semesters from now. So again, like that's just a tough decision that you're gonna have to make, and in that case, I would have to take it then. And another hard part is if you take a class but it's not offered for 2 years, let's say you get a D. The only way to replace that grade is if you retake it, but that would require you to stay for those 2 years for it to be reoffered again. And that's only, again, it's all tentative and subject to change. So you could end up staying and it not working out. So a lot of times, unless you need to take it and it's that specialized, I'd say try to avoid it if you can, because you never know what can happen. You can always have a bad year, bad semester, and it's fine. But it doesn't mean you're a failure. Just because you fail, it doesn't mean you're a failure. So it's okay to retake classes, but you got to make sure that you can plan for that flexibility in that space, which is also a great reason to use summers to retake classes. Luckily, I haven't had to do that yet, but you never know, and it's always good to have those backups and get ahead of the curve, I guess. So that's just things I think about when I'm planning for other semesters. On top of that, you're going to want to view the guidelines for like your bachelor's and your master's. So like there's overview of MS in computer science, IIT. So here it is right here. I think I'm going to do this one because it looks like I did it before. So when you go to IIT, this is what I looked at when it came to my master's. And it's going to ask, it's going to say an overview. Basically, it's going to describe what you're looking at, which is 30 credit hours minimum. So again, you can do different combinations that get you over that or get you below it, but you need to have 30. So you could take the same amount of classes that add up to 30 or slightly below, but maybe you'll have to take another one because you need all the requirements, stuff like that. So it happens. And here we go. So here's another restriction. You need 20 credit hours that come from a 500 level CS or CPS course. And here's all the potential classes. So when it came to these classes, that's what helped me decide which ones I'm going to pick, as well as their prerequisites. So I think for a lot of these, especially in the core curriculum, I couldn't take them unless I had the necessary prerequisites. So I think for this one, let's look up which ones I did here. So right now, advanced data mining, 86, 591. Okay, software systems architect. So again, it says that I need to pass software engineering with a minimum grade of the C. So that's the important prerequisite, and that's what's making me take it next semester. Because again, I can't take the higher level without taking the lower level. So that's why I needed to make sure I take it in the spring, so that way in the semester that it becomes available in the fall, I can then take that 500 level class. So again, it's cases like that you got to make sure you watch out for, and that you're ready. Because if not, especially with it's more frequent with masters, but with a master's course, you need to make sure you meet all your prerequisites, or else you're gonna have to wait a long time. So that's why I feel like with a master's in applied math or a master's in just mathematics, with any 400, 300 level being pretty already specific and hard to get to, and it's not really offered a lot, it'd make it even harder to make sure that you meet all your requirements. But then again, you never know, because even though I'm a CS minor and that helped me meet prerequisites and already take some of these CS classes, maybe if you're doing a master's in the same bachelor's degree that you're doing, you'll already have a higher chance of already taking a lot of the classes, so it's not as worrisome as it was for me getting a master's in computer science while only minoring in computer science and getting a bachelor's in an unrelated applied math degree. Even though, it's related on some terms, but in terms of specialization, there's no way. But yeah, so that's one of the most stressful things about it, and it does take some time to just computate and look through, and that's why this is still looking messy with some of these cross-outs, because I realized I didn't have to do some of these. And then I'll definitely make notes, like it talks about, I talk about people that I should do research with, or how I thought about these professors, or things like that. And then, I also did a column saying like, oh, this is the only time it works. There's going to be one per semester, so now I know how frequent it is and which ones I really need to gamble on, which I'll fine-tune in a later time. I just don't want to take up too much time. I kind of want to end the session in an hour and then go from there. And then this is where I added up. Again, if you just know like some simple coding and how to use Excel, you can just take those columns in terms of all the credits and then add it up. So then that way I was able to put it together for all the credits that I was going to have when I'm taking these classes. So in the one column it was 17, and then these, when I was just taking strictly master's courses in the future, but when I spread out the master's credit, I have to go find it. So then I added them together to make 12, and then also number 3. So then now I have a total credit of 32, which is fine. You need a minimum of 30 for your master's, but I have 32 because it looks like I needed one extra one for something, or else I would have had 29, and that wouldn't be allowed. So yeah, totally fine. And then yeah, just more links, and I just put it all over the doc just to help. And then I did the same thing with adding stuff over here. So this was just a comment about Business 100. However, they no longer needed that in my thing. But again, I summed the total credits that I'd be taking, and I did reach 130. The minimum credit, if you remember at the beginning of the video, for an applied math major is 128 credits, and I have taken, I will take 130. So kind of great. So we love to see that. But yeah, that's about it really. If we have any questions, again, go ahead, put them in the chat, or I'll meet you on campus or see you on the YouTube video. But again, I hope this overview just helped you like plan and you get more prepared, whether you are an international student that isn't accustomed to applying at IIT for courses next semester. Maybe you're unaware of it, maybe you haven't been taught it yet, or maybe you're a first year or a transfer student and this is your first time using these applications. I hope that I was able to help. Again, get in touch with your academic advisor. If you don't know who your academic advisor is, I'd say start searching, ask your professors, ask your friends. It's most likely, if your friends are in the same class and agree as you, there's a good chance that that academic advisor of theirs is also yours. So you never know. And always be friendly with interacting with staff or faculty here. Like friendship and being friendly can go a long way and help you get recommendations for jobs, for research, and just overall connections and social networking. But yeah, that's about it. Not seeing any questions yet, but that's all good. Was there any other special things I wanted to add? Not really. I'd say when you're planning this whole thing, it's going to take some time. So even though for next semester you could do it in under 20 minutes, I'd say. Even with your backups, maybe 30 minutes. But for this whole thing, it definitely took me a solid hour of just putting on some lo-fi music and just staring at different combinations and how to fix it all together. And you also don't have to do it alone. If you reach out to your academic advisor and you send them the schedule to overview it, I just talked to mine because I have them as a professor for one of my classes before this, and they said, oh yeah, email me for your pin and also send me your schedule because I'm going to make sure that you can fit this all into the next 3 semesters because I am trying to graduate a year early because that would be great both financially and in terms of just timing. So yeah, it could totally be done. And I guess a tip that I learned is the default for these classes is that they're pretty chill and you'll take 15 credits a semester, but you won't get out until the end of 4 years, maybe 4.5 or 4 if you do a summer class, which is great because I mean definitely at a school like IIT you probably should not do 18 credit semesters every single semester or you'll get burned out. Especially during COVID and this post-COVID time frame. Try to take it easier on yourself. However, I'm saying what you should do. So you should do what I say, not say as I do, I guess, because I don't do what I say. Because I've been going to school every single summer since the year coming into my freshman year. I have done 18 credit semesters for almost every single one of them. And it definitely burns you out. You definitely get tired. However, I keep pushing because I got a lot of things that I care about or I prioritize, and that's just like what helps drive me to keep going at this rate. But I also got to make sure that I slow down and make sure that I fully comprehend things because sometimes you need that extra semester to get connections or to do extra time in a research thing or to find your passion in a class. That you might randomly take as a math elective or elective credit for your degree. So those are kind of like my tips and my experiences. And I guess for a lot of the professors, I'd say humanities have been hit or miss for me. Some professors they'll be great. They'll be the best professors that you could ask for in terms of the humanities department. And you're like, I wish I had this professor every single day for every class. Some of them, not so much. I know friends that have had some, and it's just been the bane of their existence, and they're like, well, this is humanities, why do we have to take it? Um, Diversity of information and realms, I guess, that they pull from, like, that's definitely important. But yeah, it definitely is a hit or miss. And same with a lot of these classes, like, there's just a professor that won't be the best, and you have to take it. But at the end of the day, if you learn something, or it pushes you to spend 6 hours all night just like studying from like 12 a.m. to 6 a.m., and you pull that off and you can still get an A in the exam, at least that shows you what you're capable of doing. So you just kind of got to take the positive with it and make sure you take breaks. I also try to do the best I can to free up some days in my schedule too. So as you get closer to your, I guess, senior year, third year, I've been able to do it now as my third year. But getting Fridays off, that's really nice. Having a day to sleep in, have an extra day on the weekend to do homework, so that way when Sunday comes around, you're like, oh, I got so much work to do. Really, it feels like Sunday or Saturday is your Sunday, and then Sunday hits, and you're like, oh wow, a free day to do more work that I couldn't finish earlier. So I just found that really nice, and then it also makes your Thursday nights feel like Friday night, and your other friends, you can go out into the city and hang out and do things that you normally wouldn't do on a Thursday night because you would have school on Fridays. It's also been a blessing too because it's a longer weekend to go visit family, so that's always great. And then with Mondays being off on some holidays, it adds up to be just a great time. So that's something I would recommend too if you can get Fridays off. Sometimes Wednesdays can be good, especially if you ever seen the video by CGP Gray. He talks about the Wednesday weekend, and that's supposed to help. Like you can reset and everything. However, I don't know if that necessarily worked for me or my schedule, but we can probably look that up right now. Wednesday work week, CGP Gray, Wednesday. Alrighty. So I'm not gonna play the video because I don't want to be copyright claimed, but I love this account and I highly recommend it. Just talks about the perks of taking breaks in general, but also strategizing to have a Wednesday weekend to really improve your, I guess, productivity and efficiency, as well as your mental health as you work. But yeah, we have a little less than 3 minutes, so I just wanted to say thanks for joining me on this video. It was kind of sporadic, but I realized like this is something that brings a lot of stress to a lot of students, especially at IIT, before signing up for classes. So maybe I should make a video to help document it and share this information with others. But hopefully on YouTube you can watch this at double speed and it'll only be 30 minutes, just showing you a general overview of what to do and the resources that are there. I'll definitely put the resources in the YouTube links to help out other students, but I'll try to see if you also message me, I can get you in contact with people that are more specialized with their degree and get you more specialized resources and links. But so far it's pretty generic, and through these links, especially on the IIT website, you can find courses and other content that go directly to your degree. So let's say you're a biomedical engineer, like one person is in the chat. You can then use the future courses for math or computer science and then backtrack it where it would say by the engineering department on like a side tab, and then from the side tab you will just go there. Actually, I will show you real quickly. Okay, future courses here at this one. Let's see. So this is math. That's embarrassing. It doesn't have the thing on the right normally. Normally it has a thing on the right, and then I'd be able to click it, but oh well. I guess I will just have to put the links in the YouTube video. Oh, but here's the masters, and then if you wanted to look for instead cybersecurity or stuff like that, so you can pick different colleges. So let's say I want to do ITM. ITM now it shows programs, and then you can do masters. See, so just like that, it has like other links embedded, so normally that helps out. But yeah, that's that for now. And again, I can continue on past the hour. I'll just end the recording after an hour. We can do some Q&A if anybody had any questions or comments or concerns, because I know this mic audio directly into my computer probably isn't the best, but hey, we're living on a college budget, so doing the best I can. But yeah, I might do another video actually too about just like finding scholarships and pushing yourself in leadership as well, here at IIT as well as other colleges. So be on the lookout for that. I might just make it like a college tips and advice segment. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video today, and we will be coming back at you. I'm live almost every other night doing study sessions with lo-fi music. So tune in, Scotty_streams. Definitely subscribe.